Hey, this is Keith from Outlaw Speed Shop, and this week I'm going to tackle a Hot Wheels 1970 Dodge Dart, which I nicknamed Plan B because it turned into an abortion. All right, well, so here we have an older, I believe it was 2007, I'm not sure exactly when, but this Hot Wheels Classic line, and this is a Spectra Flame Blue 1970 Dodge Dart. And I had big hopes and dreams for this car, kind of like my life, and it didn't quite turn out as planned, but in the end, I think it turned out pretty good. As I said, I nicknamed it Plan B because the paint job was a complete abortion. So I'm using these monoblock wheels, which it works out that the wheels on the Dodge Dart are all the same size, and monoblocks are all the same size, so it worked out well. So here's phase one of Don't Do What I Do, and I'm using a small pilot bit on the posts to just kind of get a little bit of a they're already dimpled, so this kind of just touches inside the post, so I don't have to try to punch them later. I'll step up to a larger bit, which I'm doing here. Again, with my hand behind it, I know I'm going to get shit for it, but I'm not going very deep right now. So I'm just trying to break the base off. I'm not drilling and tapping. And the body's metal, so it's not going to blow right through. Still not a good excuse to do it, but I am doing it anyways, I guess. So yeah, I use a small bit, and then I step up to this bigger bit to help break off the almost like a little rivet head by the time you're done drilling, because it's been peened over, and works out pretty good. I've had pretty good success. So essentially, and this is the final stage here with the last drill bit. It's just minuscule sizes bigger. I don't know the exact sizes. I kind of go by eye, and but it makes it easy. These plastic bases, you have to be careful. Well, this one's metal, but the plastic bases, you have to be careful because you'll just blow right through if you kind of slip one side or the other. So essentially, once you get it, what you think you have all off, just pry it. Get all the metal shavings out of the way so you don't put your hand in it and it sticks to your hand, like it's done to me many times. So you can see this line of cars is put together really well. The interior actually has two little tabs in the very back, which you can see me prying off now, and kind of wedges the windshield in there as well. So works out pretty good. It's very well put together, but the interior is actually like one piece that's folded into itself. You can kind of see a gap there by the rear seat, but the windshield just pops right out. Very clean, semi-detailed, nothing fancy, but it's a good interior. And phase one was to strip the Spectra Flame paint. I was a little actually that's phase two, but a little concerned about that. So I always like to see what things are going to look like with the wheels I'm going to put on it. So after taking the wheels off, I didn't really take too much care because I wasn't going to reuse them. I pretty much was able to drill out with my pin vise, like you saw, right where the axle was, because it's got the same three tabs. So it allows me, instead of cutting it with like a die grinder, which sometimes you have to do, I kind of got lucky this time to just be able to pry just a little bit with my screwdriver. And even though it's metal, it's semi-soft, so I was able to pry out the original axles and wheels. And these monoblock wheels with the axles, I was able to actually just slide right in there, and it didn't come off. So probably the first time that's actually happened to me, and it's worked out, even though that's my intention 95% of the time. But it did work out, so that gave me a lot of flexibility. I didn't have to worry about gluing anything. You can see it's sturdy. It's pretty much, it slides right in, which is good until you get both wheels on, and then you're trying to get it in there. So it's a little bit of a trick there. You got to be careful not to bend. So with the monoblock wheels, you just take the axle that's provided, or you can use your own. I just crimp the end a little bit. I used to punch it. Crimping seems to work a little bit better. You slide the wheel in, make sure you put it in the right way. And what I'll do at that point, I'll do both front and rear, just to kind of get a feel for what it is I'm doing and how it's going to look. Then you'll try to put the other side on. You'll see here in a second that once you put it on, you're able to, again, make sure you put it on the way you want it to sit after, because you're going to be crimping. And the last thing you want to do is have your wheels on backwards. So you slide it in, and what'll happen is whatever is left for excess, you can trim right off. I always tend to go a little bit cautiously, and I leave just a little bit, and I'll end up doing it probably twice. I'll put the wheels in, I'll test it, and then I'll crimp it again just to be sure. So once the wheels are on, I like to see what it's going to look like, because I get kind of impatient. And wheels really do make a huge difference on any vehicle. So you can see they all roll. Monoblock wheels are awesome. Something about raised white letter tires on a muscle car always look cool. So after I play with it for a little while, in the car too, I get my little bucket of citrus strip, and as you know, I've switched to the gel, and I unintentionally left the stripper on there for almost 24 hours, because this was a little bit late at night, and I got tired, and I went upstairs, I got sidetracked, and I actually totally forgot all about it. So the next day I kind of washed it off, and because it had to have a polished finish for the Spectraflame paint, it really, really looks cool. And coincidentally, this is pretty much the way it ends up. So my original goal, this is where the shit show starts, is I was going to paint it purple, and I have a Wicked Colors, it's called Detail Violet, and it's not quite transparent, but it's got some transparency to it. So instead of priming it, I figured I would just add a little hardener, put it in there, mix it, and I started putting it on, and it was coming out good, as you'll see, but I got greedy, and instead of waiting in between coats, and you'll see it because this is time lapse, but it's real time. I didn't stop anything. You can see it's really going on good. It's looking awesome. It's got a nice reflective look to it. The chrome is shining through. Everybody's happy. Birds are chirping. And I tended to look at it. Yep, looks good. What are we going to do? Let's fuck it up. And I tended to put a nice, thick, heavy, wet coat, which kind of looked okay until it ran. And you can see on the next picture, right at the bottom of the doors, it ran. So I put it back in the stripper, and I said, all right, well, I kind of do like the chrome. Maybe this was an omen, and I'm supposed to be doing it in the chrome look. So let me clear coat it. So I took my redlineshop.com clear coat, and I put it on. And right about, it's coming, right about here, I think it is. I'm looking at it, and I'm saying to myself, that looks like crap. For some reason, it just didn't adhere very well. So I stripped it again, and I flat blacked the hood and called it a day. So here you can see I'm doing some detail work with my Sharpies on the door handles, rear tail lights. I'll do the front grille. And, I won't say I gave up, but I just got so frustrated with the paint and having to strip it 2-3 times. I wanted to do the black hood anyways, and the more I looked at it, I really like the chrome. I like the way it looks. I'm sure some people will disagree, and the purple probably would look better, but the chrome finish on it just really, it was so good. It stood out, and I liked it. And with the flat black hood, I think it kind of, I don't know, just something different. I haven't seen it done before, so here I am putting it back together. So as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share, whatever. Thank you. See you on the next one.